Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we are going to tear apart the Thousand Trails membership. Here's the contract that we signed. We're going to share our complete experience about what we paid for it, what they wanted for it, the things they tell you about, a lot of things they don't tell you about. So grab your notebook. This thing is packed full of great information if you're considering a Thousand Trails membership. Welcome back everybody, my name is John.
And I'm Mercedes.
And we are the RV Odd Couple.
Long story short, we sold everything to RV full-time with a toddler and a dog.
If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Join the Odd Squad as we share our adventures, tips and tricks about RVing full-time. In this video, we're going to talk about our Thousand Trails membership. We purchased it about 3 or 4 months ago, so all the information we have is fairly up to date. Thousand Trails no longer sells the older memberships, although you can still repurchase those from a broker. We're going to give you information on where to get those. We're going to talk about what the Thousand Trails membership is, what do they include, the different packages, how much they cost, and are they worth it? Share our experience about, actually using it. We're also going to get into our budget and what we've actually spent so far with it and what we think, what we've saved so far.
A couple of the things that we're also going to dive deep into are the pros and cons of the membership, what made us decide to get one. Alright, so first question, what is a Thousand Trails membership? Well, basically it is a national camping membership. There are locations all over the US and it's virtually free camping. It's similar to a timeshare. You can will this membership to your children.
So first off, huge disclaimer. When we started looking into memberships 5 months ago, we found it was next to impossible to get solid information about how they work because these memberships go all the way back to 1972. And if you purchase a membership back in 1972, you are allowed to resell the membership. Thousand Trails sells brand new memberships, and pretty much those are the elite packages and a brand new package called Odyssey. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the elite packages because that's the package that we purchased. We've got the contract on it, we've tore it apart, looked really closely at it, and we're going to share our experience with using it.
A very huge disclaimer that we learned the tough way, I guess you could say, is that we actually video recorded the presentation from Thousand Trails and we were told one of the membership bonuses lasted 2 years. Well, the contract only says 1 year. So the big disclaimer, whether it's an old membership, whether it's a new membership, whether it's brokered, whether it's directly through Thousand Trails.
Every membership is going to be different, so you've got to look at the details.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what anyone verbally tells you. If it's not written, it doesn't apply. So check that out.
Exactly. And we found that most people who share about their memberships have purchased them through a resale site. We're going to share that site at the end of the video and give you a link how to get to them. They're awesome people.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody loves them. They have a ton of knowledge about Thousand Trails memberships. We're going to share with you about why we purchased from Thousand Trails directly, the advantages, and we're happy that we did. And so we really can only talk about the new Elite memberships and the Odyssey memberships because that's how we were contracted. Ultimately, it doesn't matter what the Thousand Trails salesperson tells you, it's what is in writing that counts. Mercedes and I will call our representative at Thousand Trails for lots of different reasons. Ask a lot of questions about how they work. And their customer service at Thousand Trails is absolutely amazing. These people are fantastic. And but what's interesting is whenever you try to do anything with Thousand Trails or the package, and in our case it's an elite package, the representative needs to pull up your contract in a PDF because they'll tell you every single one is a little bit different.
Yeah.
So the more knowledge you have about how Thousand Trails memberships work,
yes,
how it's going to work for your family, whether you're going to just be in a certain portion of the country, if you're going to be traveling, if you're going to be RVing on the weekends, if you're a full-time RVer like us, every single contract is going to be different for everybody.
So read it and pay attention. And it's a long contract. It's not fun. It's long, but you have to go through and read it to be absolutely sure of what you're getting.
Absolutely.
All right. So one of the first things that we want to talk about. So we're talking about the packages directly through Thousand Trails, and there are 4. The first is the Camping Pass. The second is the Elite Basic. The next is the Elite Connections. And the final one is the Odyssey. And as you go up progressively, they have more features and they also get more expensive. So we're gonna start with the days of booking in advance. And this is really important because with high season, depending on where you're at, the high season varies. But with high season, the longer in advance that you can book, the more likely you are to get a spot, secure your vacation spot. It's just really helpful. So with the most basic membership, the Camping Pass, the most plain thing that they offer, that one you can book up to 60 days in advance. The next level is the Elite Basic, and that's nice because you can book up to 120 days in advance. So what's that, 3 months, 4 months?
That's 3 months, and ultimately we chose the Elite Connections as the package that we chose.
Yeah.
And I think this is kind of it was the make or break for us. It's 180 days out, so we can book our vacations all the way 6 months within the reservation system with our Thousand Trails membership.
Yeah.
One of the things that we are noticing about these memberships with the growth and with kind of millennials coming into this space, that it's getting a little bit harder and harder to get space, to get the reservations that you want. Now, with our pass, we get 180 days, which is the most that they give. Even in the Odyssey package, that's the most that they give is 180 days to book. We think that's a huge advantage because so far we have never been denied a campground. We've been using it for 6 months. We do use it. We're booked out right now. I think 4 months is the furthest out that we're booked. And so far we've gotten everything that we've wanted, but we have heard from other people with memberships that it's a little harder to get the campground that you want, especially if it's only 60 days booking.
Yeah, sometimes 60 days doesn't cut it, and you're absolutely right, because this is a national trend. RVing as a lifestyle is becoming so popular. So the longer you can book out, the more apt you are to get a spot.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, we got a visitor.
So we're going to try to record with the baby. She's in and out. Usually takes us, 7 or 8 hours to record 15 or 20 minutes because she's either screaming, needs something to eat, or whenever we set up our camera equipment, she's just here. So membership options directly from Thousand Trails. With the Camping Pass, which is kind of the entry level with Thousand Trails. It's a camping pass that's broken into 5 zones across the United States. The Southeast, the Northeast, the Midwest, the Southwest, and the Northwest. 5 different zones.
We're gonna go more deep into the price at the end, but the reason he's talking about that now is because the number of parks that are included actually depends on what type of membership you select. So if you start at the entry-level package and you buy zones, well, there's one zone that has like 8 parks, but then there's another zone that has like 20 parks. So depending on where you're at or where you're gonna camp, that determines the number of campgrounds that you could potentially use. But in the next 3, the Elite Basic, Elite Connections, and the Odyssey, those are upgraded memberships that include all 5 zones.
Yeah, it's 80 or 81 parks total. Some of the old memberships that you can buy for resale, they have 60 parks included.
So the next piece that is really important to discuss are the days in and days out. And this is huge depending on your usage. For those weekend warriors, going camping, and especially if you have a place where you can store your RV, going out of the system isn't that big of a deal. But basically, when you at the entry level, you can do one of 2 things. You can go in for 14 days in the Thousand Trail system and then be out for 7 days, or you can go from park to park in the system if you move every 4 days. The next level is the Elite Basic, and you can go 21 days in park to park, which is nice. Not moving for 21 days is awesome. Then you have Elite Connection, which is also 21 days in park to park. And then the Ultimate Odyssey, which you can tell by the name itself, it's the fanciest C, is 28 days in and going park to park.
The nice part about all the Elite packages and also the Odyssey packages, you don't have to leave the system at all.
Yes.
You can jump park to park, whether you stay there a week at one and 2 weeks at the other. You can go from one park to the next park without stopping camping. So for full-timers, I think it's a no-brainer. They have a collection called the Trails Collection. This is an add-on, okay?
Yeah, and this is an awesome add-on because if you look at the map and you look at the 1,000 Trails Parks, and then if you look at the Trails Collection or Encore Parks add-on, it's a no-brainer. It like doubles the number of parks that you can go to, and no matter whether you have the entry-level 1,000 Trails package or you have the Odyssey Ultimate 1,000 Trails package, it's only $214 a year. And one of the benefits to buying directly through 1,000 Trails is that sometimes when you upgrade your membership, they will include Encore or Trails Collection. I'm using those synonymously. They will include that upgrade for 1 to 2 years. In our case, they told us it was included for 2. The PowerPoint presentation they showed us said 2 years, but the contract only said 1.
Right.
So pay attention to that because that's $214 savings right there.
It more than doubles the campgrounds that you have access to.
Yeah, and it fills in the holes.
And the other caveat with this camping pass is that there are what they call premium trail zones, which they charge $20 per day. Now, in the system, I believe there's 18 additional cost campgrounds that you can stay in. If you are going to purchase the Trails Collection, just know that not all of them are free.
Yes, and they're totally worth it. The $20 a night for what we got, it was so worth it. But just know that that is a premium park and you're paying that fee.
So whether it's the Elite Basic, the Elite Connections, or the Odyssey package, you get 5 free stays in cabins.
It's really confusing because it's 50% off plus a free week rebate certificate. So what you do is you get to stay there for 50% off. You pay 50% to stay there. You take your receipt and a little coupon voucher that they give you. You mail it to them, and I think it takes 6 weeks and they reimburse you.
But you also get 1 free stay every year for 10 years in a getaway cabin. And these are called getaway cabins. They're not the same as the other cabins where you get 5 free stays after you get your rebate coupon back. These are called getaway cabins. And getaway cabins, for the Elite Basic, you get them pretty much for $85 per night. The Elite Connections, you get them for $60 a night, but you also get 1 free stay every year for 10 years in a getaway cabin.
So in conclusion, we have 15 cabin rentals in 10 years. And again, for family, it's a no-brainer. That way we can, and at these parks, we could park the RV and stay in a cabin. Yeah, some of them can be traded for cruises or condos. So that was another bonus too.
Yeah, but it's a game. It's again, it's one of the games. If you take the time to learn the game,
you'll win.
You win. Because they're counting that 9 out of 10 people won't play this game. Okay, so now with Elite Connections and Ultimate Odyssey, you do get an additional 2 weeks for $29 per week. So what does that mean? So with all Elite packages, you get to stay at any campground for up to 3 weeks, 21 days. With the Odyssey, you can stay for 28 days. For those people full-timing that want to move more slow, get to a campground, settle in for a month, the Odyssey is the ultimate package because you don't pay a dime, other than things that we'll talk about later, the incidentals that are starting to add up as you go. So at those parks, you stay for 3 weeks. Twice a year, Mercedes and I can extend 1 week for $29 for the whole week, so we can make our stay up to a month twice a year. Okay, so with us,
God bless you if you are.
We've literally spent hours trying to figure out all this stuff, and we think we got a pretty good handle on it, and we're really hoping that this makes sense to you guys.
Yeah.
So what else do you get when you buy an Elite Connections or an Odyssey? You get family benefits.
Yes.
And what you do get to do is, with us, we bought the Elite Connections, we get to give away 4 camping passes to our immediate family.
The fee that they charge for the family pass depends on how long of a contract. So if you're going shorter, they charge more. If you're going longer, they charge less. They want you to commit to that camping pass, but it's a huge discount compared to what it would normally cost.
Yeah, so my daughter would get a $579 regional pass in 1,000 Trails for anywhere from $99 to $199, depending on the term that she agreed to do. You can also will 8 immediate family members, and in the contract they'll tell you what the immediate family members are. What that means is they don't have to pay the initial fee that we're going to talk about in the end of this thing. All they do is they pay the yearly dues, which we will continue to pay.
Yeah. And then finally, courtesy cards. So these, we have 8 courtesy cards. They cost $95 for 21 days of camping for the year. Yeah, so at the entry level, you are not locked into any dues. It can go up by the CPI. And then at the upgraded memberships, your dues are locked in at different times. Ours are locked in for the first 4 years, and then at age 62, they are they cannot increase.
Right. Wherever you are with your dues price, by the time you hit 62 on your birthday, they lock your price in for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So, and again, guys, every contract is different. We've already spoke to people that did not get locked in for the first 4 years. It's all about negotiating with Thousand Trails, getting the best deal you possibly can. So listen to the sales pitch, but then look at the contracts. All right, so we're finally to the cost part of it, right? Hopefully we did a good job at trying to explain to you how Thousand Trails works. It all starts with a zone pass, and those zone passes currently sell for $585 per year. And you can add another zone if you want to.
For $54 a year. And so the way that it works is $585 gets you in the game. It gets you a membership to one zone. If you want more, just $54.
You add $54 to that zone. And a little caveat with that is that if you buy your first zone and then you add a zone 6 months later, both zones are going to expire when you bought your first zone 1 year from that time. So keep an eye on that.
Yeah, so don't buy zones at the 11th month, because that will not be beneficial.
No, it wouldn't be. And if you bought all 5 zones right now, the whole membership would cost you $800 for a year.
Yes.
For free camping.
Yes.
Okay. Again, back to the zone passes. You can camp for 14 days. You got to be out for 7, unless you go 4 to 4 to 4 to 4. The Elite Basic membership. They were offering it to us for $56.95 after all the discounts.
Yes.
That's what they offered it to us for. We chose the Elite Connections, and that ended up costing us, after the discounts, about $78.95. Okay? The Ultimate Odyssey, we believe, is offered at between, we have different numbers on this, between $12,000 and $14,000. But we recently watched a YouTube video where the lady said she had it offered to her for around $9,200. So again, it's up to you. Negotiate. Get the best possible deal that you can. One of the things that you also got to consider is if you buy the membership directly through Thousand Trails, they finance. They don't run a credit check. They will finance you. Typically, they'll want 10% down, and then they not only will they finance the original purchase of the package, they will also finance for you every year the dues.
Yes, but one thing that we would really forewarn you if you do the financing is read that paperwork, because the interest rates are a little bit higher, and they are higher if you do direct debit out of your bank account, if you have them mail you a bill.
Yeah, it's financing.
There's different things that the interest rate can go up to 2 points if you do this, if you do that. So big thing that nobody talks about.
Yeah,
right
and
there.
we believe right now their financing charges are around 17%.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So take a really close look at that. The other option you have is not to buy your membership through Thousand Trails. You can buy your membership through Campground Membership Outlet.
Yeah.
These two people are amazing. They're wonderful. We talked to them a lot before we purchased our membership. Ultimately, we decided we wanted the benefits to buy directly from Thousand Trails. None of the old memberships that we could get a hold of gave us 6 months reservation window, so we couldn't. I think the most we could go with with old memberships that were for sale back then was, I think it was 3 months. Maybe it was 120 days. Maybe it was 4 months.
Yeah.
But the biggest reason we purchased Elite Connections was that reservation window. 6 months out is great, especially as more of the millennials are coming into this space, more people are getting out and camping and going out and seeing the country. It's getting harder and harder to get
reservations
to get
especially for
reservations.
long-term.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about brokered memberships, their pros and cons. Let's start off with the pros. Big pro to a brokered Thousand Trails membership is that it costs a lot less than going direct through Thousand Trails.
It does. If you go back, you go to what is it, eBay, Craigslist, where you find them people trying to sell their old membership. They cost less than a brand new membership. The way that Thousand Trails is fighting back against that is they're giving you more benefits if you buy a new membership, which is why we purchased ours through Thousand Trails. I have not seen an old membership that you could schedule or set a reservation 6 months in advance. I've seen them with, I think, up to 120 days.
Yeah.
You know, but typically I find that they're probably $2,000 to $3,000 less if you do go through a broker.
And another pro is that sometimes, and it all depends on the brokered membership that you find, but there are some that have some crazy low yearly dues that
yes.
are like $200 a year instead of the $500 or $400, which it's currently at.
So again, you really got to go in and look at the contract.
And then the cons, with everything, pros and cons. The first con is that there is a transfer fee payable to Thousand Trails. Is it $750?
$750.
Okay. Yeah, so that's just in addition to the cost of the actual membership from whoever you're buying it, there's an additional transfer fee. The next con is processing time. So if you're like us, and you buy an RV and then you realize, oh, wait, where am I going to put it? If you check out our buying mistakes video, we admit to that. The processing time can be a big deal because I think in some cases it can be as long as, what, a couple months or something like that? It's a long
I've never heard of it
processing
being
time.
that long. I've heard on an average 3 to 5 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
Remember, Thousand Trails is the company that is going to take care of the processing, and I don't think they're in much of a hurry to get it pushed through.
Yeah.
So, but it does take time. And
Yes.
when you talk to your broker, obviously we're going to give you who we believe is the best broker out there. And we're going to give you their information, and we suggest you go directly through them because they know everything there is to know about these old memberships, and they know quite a bit about the new memberships as well.
Yeah, we're not pretending to be experts on
We're
brokered
not
memberships,
experts.
but we wanted to dive a little bit deeper into it because we knew that would be a value.
There's going to be some park limitations
Yes.
When you buy an old membership, meaning that a lot of the old memberships only included 60 parks. I believe there's 81 now. So there's definitely going to be some limitations against what you could buy brand new from Thousand Trails. And then the transfer limitations.
Yeah, so you know how we talked about how you can will the membership? Well, you can also sell it. So just as you're buying memberships from a broker, some memberships have a limit to the number of times that
That it can be resold.
Exactly. So a membership that can be resold will cost more than a membership that cannot be resold.
Exactly.
And some of the brokered memberships have limitations that they will say, yes, it can be resold, but only up to this level,
Right.
not up to the other upgraded levels.
Like, for instance, this is one of the things that we looked at when we purchased ours directly from Thousand Trails. So we paid $8,000 for our membership, and right now we believe we could resell it for $4,500. You know, and in our contract it says we can resell it once. So they're trying to get a cap on those as well.
Yeah.
But whoever buys our membership won't be able to resell it, which will probably drive our price down. So just read your contracts.
Yes. All right, so next we're going to talk about the pros and cons of a Thousand Trails membership in and of itself and why we decided to take the leap and buy a Thousand Trails membership.
Directly from them.
Exactly.
We believe that your Thousand Trails membership is going to pay for itself over time if you use it.
Yes.
We believe, I look at my membership as actually growing equity because we bought a lifetime membership that we can sell if we choose to. But the more we camp, the cheaper it gets. I mean, it's going to blow our minds when we start camping in year 2 and 3. that it doesn't cost us hardly anything to camp.
Absolutely. And the next pro to buying 1,000 Trails membership is, and we kind of touched on this, but RVing is a nationwide trend. More and more people are tiny living, and more people are, getting rid of their sticks and bricks home and buying an RV and living in it full time. And as this trend continues, the value in this membership is just going to go up. And just as this, we talked to a lot of people at parks that say that a couple of years ago it was so easy to get into a park, and now the parks are constantly full.
They're getting harder and harder.
So buying a membership and guaranteeing a spot if you can reserve it, and especially reserving it with so much anticipation in advance, it's a no-brainer for us.
And again, it's back to, we decided to live full-time in an RV. And so we have so many options all over the country with all the campgrounds that we can stay at. It puts it well over 300 total campgrounds in the United States that we have access to, between our trails collection, our 1,000 trails, and then our RPI.
Yeah. And then the next reason why this is a no-brainer is the glamping. Having those hookups, having sewer, having electricity, and still getting to travel the country at a discounted rate, it was just, for us, it was a no-brainer.
It was a no-brainer. And then finally, the ability to schedule in advance, I believe, is where the most value is in these memberships, and that's why we purchase it directly from 1,000 Trails. We can advance book 6 months out ahead of us.
But to be fair, because we like to talk about things as they really are, we're going to talk about the cons to 1,000 Trails membership, because it's with everything, there's pros and cons. So the first con is that it is a major investment. It's not cheap.
Yep. Anywhere from $5,000 to, I think, $13,000, $14,000, depending on which membership that you purchase. But again, if you full-time RV, I don't see it as a major investment. I don't see it as a major purchase. I see it as a good investment, because we are actually having equity in where we're going to be camping 3, 4, 5 years down the road if we continue to live this lifestyle.
All right, and then the next con is that some parks, and every park is different, but some parks have add-on if you want a spot with sewer, or if you don't have a spot with sewer but they charge you for each dump. Or some parks, we just stayed at one that it was a $5 fee per package that was delivered to the park that they accepted on your behalf. And then some of them have an additional $5 fee for 50 amp service. So that is something that is, I actually go into that in a little bit more detail when I talk about our actual costs. Right. But that is definitely a con, that it's like, oh man, you spend thousands of dollars and then you get $5 a day. So I'm going to dive deep into the cost and savings of the 1,000 Trails memberships versus non-1,000 Trails parks. We purchased our membership on August 8th, 2018, and today it is January 16th, 2019. So for a total of 155 nights, we have spent a total of $2,253.99. Our average cost per night is $14.54. But look deep in the numbers here, because in the 1,000 Trails and Encore system, of the total 155 nights, 91 of those nights has been in 1,000 Trails or Encore / Trails collection. Our total spent on the 1,000 Trails and Encore Trails collection parks is $602, making our average cost per night in 1,000 Trails or Encore parks $3.88.
Which is pretty much those incidentals, right?
The $5, here's where it comes out to. So we had a couple of parks that charged us an additional $3 to $5 for 50 amp service. And then we also stayed at the Trails Collection Premium Parks that cost $20 per night. So we stayed at those parks twice for 2 weeks, so it was $280 twice. So that's how we got to the total of $602. But not every single 1,000 Trails park charges extra for 50 amp service. So so far in our travels, we have hit a couple. So if you look at our out of 1,000 Trails and out of Encore experience, that's been a total of 64 nights, and we have paid for camping. We haven't boondocked yet. The total that we've spent on non-1,000 Trails parks is $1,651.99, making our average cost per night outside of the system $25.81.
And also, just we still have used other types of memberships.
Yes, Passport America. We use that one,
which will save us 50% for a few nights.
Yeah, and so even still using other membership. Even still using other membership programs, our cost per night was $25 versus the average of $3.88 within the 1,000 Trail system.
No brainer.
This is totally a no-brainer if you are a full-time RVer.
Absolutely. If you're a full-time RVer, this is the way this is what you should be doing.
Yeah. Well, full-time RVer, and you're going to be in the outsides of the U.S.
Right. So I hope you enjoyed our video. We worked harder on this video than we have, and we're hoping the videos get better. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. YouTube just unlocked a brand new feature for us because we passed 1,000 subscribers.
Woo-hoo,
thank you so much, everyone, for supporting this channel. And what it is it's called the Community tab, and it's going to allow us to communicate on a more regular basis and kind of a more personal basis with our subscribers, the people that are supporting this channel.
Our Odd Squad.
The Odd Squad, we're calling it. And so look for that, and if you want to communicate with us, you can do that right through that.
I just want to say thank you so much because we have had such tremendous comments and feedback, and I want you to know that we read every single comment that you guys post, and it's almost like you guys are in this journey with us.
Yeah,
you know, we talk about you, we laugh, we're like, oh look, this person said this, we wish we had thought of that. So I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you. You guys have no idea. I mean, I think we got probably 40 or 50 hours into just making this one video.
It's a lot.
Because we're really wanting to give new RVers what they want, to help them grow. So
and things that we wish we had known.
Yes.
Everything that we wish we had known, we're trying to present it in a user-friendly format.
And then one more thing, thank you to all the veterans, veteran RVers who have been contributing to our channel. We've learned more in the last few weeks since we posted this, put this channel up. From the comments, I've gotten private emails from veterans saying, "Oh, try this, try that."
Awesome.
And so we're really hoping that's what the Community tab is going to do. We're really excited about it. And we're actually working on another video right now where we're bringing people in and showing us, we're going to show you our home. We're going to bring you inside our RV, the truck, my setup, all that stuff. We're working on that right now. We should have that out within the next 5 to 7 days. So thank you so much for supporting our channel, and we'll see you in the next video.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.